Well, we're gonna run up, do a quick inspection of this roof here, get some measurements and stuff, but I wanted to get my Cougar Paws put on real quick. Most roofs, I just use my tennis shoes, go up to 612, 712, 812, not usually an issue. Unless it's like 2-story, 3-story, something dangerous where if you do fall, you're dead, then use harnesses and everything. But as far as walkable, most tennis shoes, not an issue, unless it's about 812 or steeper. And then if it's granule, if the granules are breaking free from the shingle, then they act like ball bearings and stuff. But basically the Cougar Paw, if you're not heard of them, they're a pretty sweet roofing bit. Now these are the actual style that have stuff where you're roofing. They now have an estimator, but basically the important part is this pad right here. It's replaceable. Velcro's on. You would think that's not safe, but the magic is this stuff right here. It's like a foam, spongy couch cushion almost, and it grips the shingles really good. Imagine that very porousness grips the granules. So what we're gonna do is run up, get this checked out, see what I need to see for this to be able to figure an estimate for this guy. It's a little breezier, I hope you can hear. I do have the wireless mic on with the little wind muff. So you can either do this with technology and not even see the site, or if you see the site, whether it'll go up on the roof or not, by using EagleView, things like that. By the way, side note, this is kind of wet down here. It looks wet from the snow melt. If you are using Cougar Paws, do try to keep them dry because they tend to wear out faster when they're wet. And they can also be, yeah, there's some moisture coming off that. Wear out faster and be a little slick. All right, so first thing I do, and typically, yeah, I left my notepad on the truck toolbox, is initially set up, we're looking for several things. If it has gutters, what color are they? What size are they? If you ever damage anything, you want to know what size and have to make a trip back. Do they have gutter guards? If they do, you know to be careful. How are they fastened? Sometimes they'll screw through the apron, through the gutter guard. Can't just rip stuff off. So noting all that. A big one that can change your price is the layer of shingles. What is it on? So right here, I can see one layer of shingle. There is a starter row, and it looks like ice and water even on this. I'd guess this roof to be about 15 to 20 years old, just knowing by that, because a lot of people didn't start using this until probably like, say 2008, 9, 2010 and on. So it's 2016 right now. I'm sorry, not 2016, 2026. All right, so one layer, I don't know what is on. That's the other thing you try to check. If you can get up under here, get kind of an idea. Sometimes you can flex this a little bit, roll it, lift it. With the ice, I can't tell. I don't want to bend that too much. We'll try to look at a gable edge or something. But what I was saying is if you use EagleView, typically an EagleView is going to take, if you rush, 4 hours, pay the fee to rush, or standard delivery 24 or 48 hours. A RoofSketch like this, I could do in probably 10 minutes from my laptop in the truck, anywhere with Starlink or cell phone on the internet. So, I mean, if you use EagleView, great. It gets costly. I try to keep things small and manageable within the company, and I can do really good with it. 120 bucks a month, unlimited reports that take 10 minutes, so it's not a big deal. So what I'm trying to do is just visually see things, penetrations, pipe boots, pitch, stuff like that, and some scale measurements to scale verify. So we're gonna get into it. I guess because I did leave my notepad, we're just gonna do video measurements here. So we'll start by going up over this way, checking some things overall. I did go around the outside, took photos of the ground real quick. I do want to show a couple things. I just happen to see this valley right here. It looks like it's bridged pretty good or has a bit of a raised look to it. Let me set my phone down here. You might be able to see because, yeah, if you look at this, right through here, hopefully, see how that's going down a little bit? If you were to walk up a valley, you could easily tear this, break this, crack this, and then you're on the hook to replace the roof or do a repair. You want to avoid that. So if you are new to estimating, don't go walk right up the center of a valley like this. If you're a homeowner, don't go up that. You would think that's great, but straddle your feet on the outside of the valley just a few inches out and you're going to be fine. You can still grip it by pushing your weight apart. And then also in an earlier video today, an inspection talking about a valley, this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. Somebody actually stepped on this, or something fell on it, or an external force of some sort pushed on this and completely cracked that shingle right there. You have some worn out right in the valley, and this is a very bad spot for a leak to occur because say this crack right here, straight up, and from right here straight up, any rain that hits anywhere in this area right here is all flowing to this valley and coming through that crack right there. The only thing keeping water out of here is if this shingle under it, headlap, did not get cracked and damaged. Then under that is your synthetic and ice and water, your valley roll. Look how wet those are, just from walking through that little bit of wet ground. All right. So from here, typically I'll take pictures of all angles. Rolling the camera, I'll be able to just take notes off the camera video here. Looks to be about a 12-12. So pitch gauge, I'll pull this up real quick. Make sure there's no messages on my phone. Don't want to see my code, emails. Okay, here's the pitch gauge app I use. It comes up something like this. It's pitch gauge 3.0, Android, iOS. I believe this is an iPhone. I hit camera here, pops up. Uses the camera overlay with sensors in it to find your pitch. So we're gonna go onto the roof deck here, lay it onto the roof. It's about a 10-12. Depending upon where you put this, could change it a little bit because you're resting here and raised up slightly versus right there. So I figured it was about 11 or 12 by the street view. Looking at it, walking around the outside, it's an 11. I would classify this as an 11, somewhere right in that range. Typically, if you're within a 1 degree pitch or closer, what I mean by 1 degree, not 1 degree, but like say 412, 512, 612, 712, it's not gonna matter much at all unless you get steep. The steeper you are, the more that's gonna be off, because you gotta remember you're taking a 2D image and factoring for that 2D by the pitch. So if you're say like a 20 to 21 rise, that's gonna be way more significant than say a 412 to a 612 even, or 412 to 812. That's twice as steep as a 412, but it's gonna be off less probably than a 2012 to a 2112, if that makes sense, if you get what I'm getting at. The lower the slope, the less of an issue. The steeper it is, the more precise you want to be. I'll try not to get too sidetracked on this because I could probably go long and what just oh, my wireless mic slid to the other magnet. It scared me. I thought I dropped something. Damn, I didn't grab my tape measure. Let me run down and grab my tape real quick. I left it in my toolbox here. Try to stay out of that wetness. I think I'm honestly, now that I'm down here, I'm gonna skip my whole notepad and just do a video note. I'm gonna watch this back anyways. So we'll just do a tape measure, video note, kind of show you the process. My thought process going through this. There's something else I didn't say. Keep an eye on the ventilation, the soffit, if it has it or doesn't have it. Take pictures, measurements, whatever you need. All right, we're gonna start right here now. Hooking on the bottom edge, get my boots a chance to dry up a little bit. From the transition, Eve line to transition, 16 foot. I usually go from the nearest foot to the half foot in that range, not to the inch. And then from 16, we're gonna back down probably 13 and a half foot for this little piece of wall right here. Lace the valley, not the wall, but the fascia board here. This bottom eave is roughly 7 foot. Let's do the bottom eave here. $19 too. All right, so when you measure a gable, if you're using solely a gable edge for a reference, it can be good because you get 2 pieces of information. If it doesn't hit 14 like it is right here, smack dab on the money, you know your pitch is off a little bit. So if you're gonna throw a 14-12 on a gable or mark your gable, tell it the pitch, and if it doesn't hit 14, you're either too shallow or too steep. This is about the same right here. That eave right there is close to this eave length right here. So I could honestly just measure 8 foot to these. And then as far as a reference measurement, satellite image looking down, drone image looking down, doesn't matter. I would try to avoid something small and go for something large. The reason being is if you measure this and you're off on your pixels when you plot the course, say that's 8 foot, or 8'6", and you put 8 foot down, for every 8 foot, you're now multiplying how much off you are. So for a example, if that's 8'6", and you measured 8 foot, it's 6 inches bigger than what you factored. And then another 8 foot out, you're now a foot off. And if you doubled that again, you're now 2 feet off. Well, if you're 2 feet off on your width from end to end and you're 14 feet up, that's almost another square and a half high, roughly. So 14 foot up, 10 foot by 10 foot, right? If you're following, you're gonna be off significantly. So point being, measure a far edge to a far edge. And it doesn't even have to be a roof facet. It can honestly be something like the driveway. You could see the driveway, your length of your truck, anything you can get an image of, there's a known dimension. Like I know my truck measurement, but it's not in the satellite image. If I do a drone image, I'll have it. So just going off of a larger portion, it could even be from the front of the house to the back of the house. It could be from that tree to that tree. It could be anything. You just need a reference photo, a reference measurement. So you can see the moisture coming out. Check these out. This is a 11-12 pitch with Cougar Paws, and it is a bit granular. Tennis shoes would actually start scuffing this, and the granules would come off in your feet here and be a little slick. It's not bad at all. Let's check this out real quick. I can just jump over to it here. Not even a jump, it's a step over. Quick height in case they want a structure measurement for this. We're at 7 foot tall. When I'm doing my ridge measurements, I try to go with the hip and ridge, because if you ran out of tape measure, you could typically every 5 inches get something to hook on, but this is smaller than my 30-foot tape, 14 foot. On that note, whatever your tape is, try to avoid running it out to that full amount. You're gonna wear your spring out, possibly break your tape a whole lot faster. So look at this cracking going on right here. A lot of cracks going right down through the shingle, every shingle right in the middle of it. The sawtooths are broken free. I don't think due to wind though, because the shingles are stuck down. Let's look up closer and see what we can see here real quick. It just looks like there's not much asphalt in there. You can see there was one, here was one, not much mat transfer or anything, just old, not enough tar in there. Sealer when they made it. Let's see if we can get a shingle cellophane wrapper and see what's going on, what this is. I think this is a metric shingle, which is not gonna be 5-inch exposure, but 5 5/8. So it is metric. Let's see if we can get an edge here that's loose. These are nailed off pretty good. Let's see if we can check it over here. There we go. If you just find a gable edge like this and your shingles are just a little loose. On that note, I see a lot of people that just get careless and shoot their nails way too far in. Wind whips these with all that leverage. It's a good idea to try to shoot near the edge. Unless you live in Florida, then you smear tar, bowl all over the edges. But in this case, you can lift this up a little bit. There should be a cellophane strip on most manufacturers right here in this general area, unless they're made differently. I'm gonna put the hat on my head and try to peel this piece off, see if we can ID what this is. You just peel a little piece off, pop it out of there. It's not much to go off on this one, it's really small. Typically you get about a 4 to 6 inch piece. You're gonna have date codes and manufacturers or certainties something. This looks like BRK maybe. Clearly a B. I don't know if it's a BRK. Could be like an Owens Corning out of the Brookville plant maybe, an Oak Ridge. The other thing, if you can get into a shingle here like this, you can see if it was a duration or a sure nail, you'd see a strip right there. That's not. This could be an Oak Ridge. Owens Corning's been real bad with a lot of granule loss like this. I know it's not ICO because they're vertical right here. I'm gonna either go with Oak Ridge, Owens Corning Oak Ridge, or it could be a Certainty shingle. On the Certainties, usually you see their little Certainty logo on the cellophane, so I don't know. I think it's gonna be Oak Ridge. All right, measure this right here. This is ultimately what I really wanted to get, my length here. So don't run your 30 foot out all the way. If you got 30 foot, it's gonna wear your spring out. What I typically do is go near 20 foot, and it's easy to add in my head, 20 foot, 40 foot, 60 foot, so on, and then add your final measurement. So if you got a hook, a gutter, spike, or anchor, you can measure off that. If they don't line up, I find a shingle real close that I can hook to. 2 inches off, not gonna be matter. Mark with my foot. What I would do is normally hook this and continue on. In this case, I can pull off of that and not hurt the shingle. And just add your amounts together in this here. So we're gonna do 20 plus 11 foot 3, so 31 foot 3 inches. And while we're here, quick hook up this for the transitions, 13 foot. Penetrations, I got 1 2-inch pipe boot, bathroom vent, nothing, 2 box vents, nothing, ridge vent going up. Look at these Cougar Paw boots. It's amazing shit right there. Does not appear to be any other penetrations but the chimney. We have some nail pops here, little loose shingle hips. Older nose though, that's why I'm here. My nose is a little runny. Let's get a quick photo of the chimney. Flashing of it. If this is not being used, I would tear it down. There's no high efficient vents coming out of the roof itself, but they could come out through a foundation and crawl space, basement, gable edge, something. I'll check on that because I would rather tear this down than have to shingle and flash around this and have a leak in the future due to it. It's also a weird spot because you got not much of a back area here. Let's see if we can do away with the TV antenna, check with on that. That's all there is really here on this. This ridge is the same height, eaves the same height, so I know this is gonna be the same pitch as that, and the same height from eave to ridge. If you guys are in the roofing business, you go on roofs and you walk roofs at all, look at a Cougar Paw if you've not. Also, note damage. I did see that when I was setting ladder up. Take a picture of that, note that, talk to them. You could have an area where bats and critters are getting in because of something like that. All right, in conclusion, let's wrap this one up. I don't know how long we are here, but I'm not saying EagleView and other software is bad per se, it's just costly. I try to keep the cost really affordable, keep it a good, smooth flowing, bootstrap company and make a great living doing it. So you can too if you're a small guy. My software, what am I hearing? It's a donkey. $120 a month, I think. Unlimited reports takes 10 minutes, really. 10 minutes to get an image of it, sketch it out. This is some of the stuff that I look for. I hope bringing you along like this, you got some kind of information or entertainment out of it. If you could, give it a quick thumbs up and we'll see you on the next one.